All right. Going back live now. We are talking about 12-7. Come with me and you'll see why I am the greatest pimp up in the nation. There's no doubt that I am the greatest pimp of your imagination. Welcome to another episode. We are live once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is that one, that only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. And as I was saying earlier in my live feed, is that we're talking about the overpriced Detroit epidemic and why so many people and stuff are paying overpriced for something that should be very simple. And so, as I ask people, people come to me and they'll ask me, okay, hey Rooster, which way I need to go? This cash truck seems to be the way to go and stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, how much experience do you have? Not very much. Do you have any connections? Do you have, do you know where to go when certain issues come up? No. Well, then, having that cash truck is not going to be so good for you. In fact, and stuff will be a hindrance because you don't know how much you got to put into the truck to make it run, to make it go. And so, you're trying to do it to a point where you got expenses and stuff down, you got the money on hand, and once you pay for the money, you can get the money back, rather quickly. Other cases about getting cash trucks is that, if you like a particular truck, if you're just fascinated by a particular truck and you got to have it, and well, yeah, and you go that route, and then, you could build a piece here, a piece there, that sort of thing there. But, if you're talking about doing it in other words, when people come to me about cash, the cash truck option, what you're telling me, you're trying to do a shortcut in business. In other words, and that's not the way it goes. If you're trying to do it as a shortcut, it's not going to work for you. It's definitely not going to work for you. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in business. And that's what lands you and stuff out of business when you're taking all these shortcuts. People that get used trucks, they got an understanding of the business. They're around people. Now, y'all got to excuse me. This thing just kicked me right on off here. That's odd. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully the live feed doesn't get interrupted again, but if it does, then we might have to cut it short. I lost my train of thought. But as I was saying though, when people come to me about the cash option, right, cash truck option, when I hear the whole plan out, right, it seems like you're taking a shortcut. Well, I don't want to finance a truck. And so, you're talking about the financing the truck as though it's a bad thing. So you're looking at the finance from a lease driver's perspective. You're looking at it from a lease driver's perspective, and that's not it. That's why I say it's important to know, where do you stand on your credit? Because if you don't know, then you need to. That's very important. You need to get familiarized with that, because your interest rates and stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised you'll be surprised um, what you'll be surprised what you're available for. But you got this notion of saying, well, I got bad credit because of some of the things I did in the past, and so I'm like, okay, explain them to me. And it doesn't seem it may seem bad, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as you make it out to be. And so I say the first step is to find, you got to get with credit repair people. Get with someone who can repair your credit and stuff. They can tell you whether you in some bad shape or not. But for the most part, they can get you squared away because this is your first time going into this sector. Going into this sector of business, and so you're unfamiliar. You're unfamiliar with the business sector of things. You know stuff from a personal side, but now you're stepping into the aspect of business and, well, okay, I'm not going to need credit. I'm going to just work and I'm going to have all this money. I'm going to have all this money. I'm going to do, cash is king. And so, that's fine. That's fine and that's wonderful. But, if you don't have any connects, then, you're back to square one again. Which goes to this, which goes into tonight's topic about what I've been seeing lately is a lot of guys, a lot of people buying Detroit motors, particularly these 12.7s, right? People have been getting these 12.7s, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, it's a crate motor, okay? How is it a crate motor? Because, crate motor means that it's never been in any vehicle before. It came off the assembly line, they checked it out, they crated it up, and they throwed it on the shelf, and they said, well, whoever buys this thing, this is what they're going to get. A motor straight off the assembly line, but what people think that crate motors are now is just motors that are sitting on some shelf, and they say, okay, you want it, you can go get it, because it's cleaned up and ready to go. And so you don't know the inner workings of the motor. What did they do? What did they do with the motor exactly? Because they quit manufacturing the 12.7 back in the beginning of 2004. The beginning of 2004 when the Freightliner Century class, when they rolled out their new model, and stuff, that's when they started going with the 14.0s. They had Freightliner pretty much ended their deal and stuff, and so the only people that was really messing with Detroit and stuff was Freightliner. Freightliner and Western Star. That was it. Everybody else, if you had Kenworth, Volvo, they was either, especially Kenworth, they was dealing with Cummins and Cats, and for a while, the only truck that you could find a Detroit in and stuff were actually the 14.0. The 12.7, the 12.7 and stuff, they went all trucks and stuff, but when they discontinued the 12.7 in 2004, that's when everybody went to Cummins, and that's when everybody went to Cummins and Cat and stuff, except Freightliner, they went with the Detroit 14.0. So at the time, the 12.7 was a good motor, right? But people didn't know how to turn up the horsepower. They didn't turn up, they didn't know how to turn up the horsepower. And if they were thinking about turning up the horsepower, they would say, well, look, I might as well get a Cat, right? I might as well get a Cat and stuff, guys. In 2004, that's when they rolled out with the C15, The C15 Acer twin turbo. That's what everybody was You know, if you're talking about power and stuff like that, that's where everybody was focused towards. You know, the 6NZ was still doing its thing, but as far as turning up horsepower, right, there was very few people that will really mess with the Detroit. But for, you know, if you got cash in hand, you talking about turning the motor up, people went towards the cash. So 12.7 was you know, it was an all right motor for a little while, but then, you know, people started understanding and dissecting the 12.7. They understood how to turn the horsepower and stuff up, and, you know, put it on par with the 6N, you know, with the 6NZ, and sorry, it was a guy walking by. The other thing that made the 12.7 good was that you can use, you know, before they really rolled out the 14.0, you can use a 12.7 head. You can use a 12.7 head on a 14.0. And, you know, and for a while, I mean, you could buy, you know, a lot of Snyder trucks were like that. A lot of your earlier Snyder trucks and stuff, your 2004s up to your 04, your 05 Snyder trucks. That's how they was doing, you know, it was a 14.0 block with a 12.7 head. And so, you know, that kind of confused people. And stuff, you know, when they was buying this motor, they was like, dog, you know, you can run a 12.7, you can run a 12.7 head on the 14.0. If you had those particular trucks, those particular models there and stuff. So, but that's the thing there. The 12.7 became popular much later. Much later and stuff. And so, but the whole crate motor thing is going. The whole crate motor thing now is that just guys are getting 12.7s. They're cleaning. They're cleaning them up. You know, they clean the heads up. They clean the blocks up. They put a fresh in-frame kit in it. And then they throw it on the shelf. So what you thinking you're getting is, you think you're actually getting the 12.7 with, you know, official Detroit parts in it and stuff. And the only way that you're gonna know it's Detroit parts is if you tear the motor apart. But, you know, it's all clean and put together, and they got it up here on the shelf. So, you know, you don't know what's in it. And then they're saying, okay, well, what kind of warranty do I get? Well, you're getting a 1 year warranty. Which I'm saying, you know, it's okay based upon what the pricing is. But, you know, you getting this 12.7, and then they're telling you, okay, it's $30,000-$40,000 for this motor. And you saying, yeah, okay, fine, I'll get it with a 1 year warranty. What are you doing? You know, what are you doing and stuff, man? Cause I'm like, you're taking out a 12.7 in your truck to replace it with another 12.7 because it's a crate motor, or what they're telling you. I'm like, no, it's a used block. Yeah, it's cleaned up. They kept it within specification. You know, they did all the cutting stuff on the outside and the inside, and, you know, they put the in-frame kit in and they throw it on the shelf and say, well, you know, oh, here it is. But, you know, what kind of warranty they give you? It's a 1 year warranty. You know, it's a 1 year warranty and stuff, right? Because, you know, Detroit, you know, if you get if it's officially a Detroit, right, and yeah, if it's a Detroit crate motor, then they're giving you 3 years, 300,000 miles. 3 years, 300,000 miles. That's what they're giving you. Anything official. In fact, it doesn't matter whether it's Detroit's Cummins Cat. If it's a crate motor, or if it's going in with their OEM part, then they're guaranteeing it up to 350,000 miles. 350,000 miles in 3 years. Whichever one comes first. But, you know, you're buying it, and it's got a 1 year warranty on it. You know, you already know it's aftermarket parts, right? You know, just cheapest route to come. So, you're spending this type of money, and for what reason? Well, what's going on with your motor? What's going on with your motor? So, guys are getting stuff done. They're getting stuff done. And so, one guy in particular that I was watching was this guy named OTR Rookie, which I don't understand why he called. I guess, it's his channel and stuff, but, I've been following OTR since he first jumped out here. But, now OTR has probably been in for, about 7 years now. He's been in 7 years now and stuff, so, I don't think he's a rookie anymore. But some of the things he do, again, it's questionable, right? Because, he got this freight line classic. He got this freight line classic and stuff, and so, I've been following him. So he put an end frame in, in the truck, and he put an end frame in the truck, I believe, last year, and he threw the turbo in. And so he just recently put in another 12.7, and so he was talking about what he had to pay for it and stuff. And I'm like, well, here we go again, Here we go again, these guys getting these 12.7s, and you spending almost $40,000 for a motor. You're spending $40,000 stuff for this motor that you put in this truck, and it's like, it's not real, and you're paying it. You're paying it and stuff. What advantage are you getting? You got this so-called crate motor. You got to put in the truck, and then they're talking about it's only a 1-year warranty on it. It's only a 1-year warranty on it, and so y'all got to excuse me then and stuff. It's cold and stuff. But that's it. You got 30. You sit on your $40,000 on it, and you got a 1-year warranty on this supposed crate motor. And so I'm asking, like, well, how did your first motor go bad, right? You put the end frame and stuff in, and so, finally they'll just admit, well, yeah, I went to this guy and I cut corners, because no reputable person, if you take your truck somewhere to get an end frame done, if there's somebody reputable, then they're not going to risk putting a bad job on your truck, just for you to go up here on social media and say, hey, man, listen, I got ripped off. I got ripped off and stuff, man. So, people aren't doing that. If you're going to somebody reputable. But, what I'm seeing is like, guys are just cutting corners and stuff with these end frames, or they say they got them, but I'm just saying, with the type of problems and stuff that are coming up, it's just as hard for me to believe. The truck only survived truck only went 1 year, and then now you're having these problems again where you got to go back in there and put another end frame in it, or, no, I'm just go ahead and take this motor on out and stuff and put this new one in. I'm like, okay, that's just not, it's not working to your advantage. It's not working to your advantage and stuff. It's not adding value. It's not adding value and stuff to the truck. You went out here and you started talking about, all right, TVE, what's going on? If you took the truck and you tried to go out here and sell it, right? Even if you said you put a new block in, nobody's gonna go for it and stuff. Like, well, no, they're just gonna beat you up on the pricing. They're gonna beat you up on the pricing and stuff. And you're lucky if you're gonna make your money back. But you got that issue there and stuff. The other issue is that you're putting all this money into this truck, and then you're not making the money back as fast as you invested. You're not making the money back as fast as you invested, and so that sets you back there. Yeah, that sets you back there too. Cause everybody's saying, well, hey, the industry is bad right now, and we're not making money, and the rates and stuff are horrible. But yet, here you go. Willing to put $50,000-$60,000 into a rebuild in your truck. You willing to take $50,000-$60,000 of your own money in the industry that's supposed to be doing bad right now and stuff that it's not your return is not going to be coming back as quickly. On top of that, the motors only has a year warranty on it. It only has a year 100,000-mile warranty on it. So, it's not really giving you a chance. It's not really giving you a chance and stuff to break it in. So you don't have no kind of safety cushion anyway. So why are you investing large amounts of money into something that's not, it's just not working to your advantage from a business perspective? Why put all that money into that? So this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm noticing. And so I'm like, what would you do in a situation like that? If I had a 12-7, right? Well, if I didn't have any connections, then first thing I would do, go grab truck paper. I done showed it too many times and stuff. Google is your friend. You start Googling things up and you can see where you stand and stuff with the 12-7. And so, they got shops, and so OTR Rookie, I believe he's from Illinois. No, he's from Oklahoma. But they got a shop there. They got a shop in Indiana that's been doing rebuilds and stuff for over 30 years. And so, they run specials, with the in-frame and transmission. So, as long as that block ain't hurt, which, it's not, because he had to trade it in. He had to take his block out and stuff and trade it in for this 12-7 he got now. He could have went right to these guys and stuff, and they sell crate motors too. Well, they sell used blocks and stuff. I mean, they sell used blocks. If that's the way he wanted to go, or he could have just put an in-frame in the motor that he had. And so I'm like, for that 12-7, I mean, he didn't need the transmission done. So you're talking about, I think they charge, $13,000 cash and carry. That means you got to pay, yes, cash and carry, because Indiana doesn't have sales tax on things related to trucking, right? So, you got your own authority. So, the price is the price. So, you give them $13,000. They say, well, they need about a week turnaround, right? They need about a week turnaround and stuff. But, most people that go to that particular shop in Indiana, they're going for cat motors. But, 12-7s, man, I mean, with a Freightliner Classic, they probably have you in and out in about 3 days. And so, you got your stuff done by a reputable shop. You got your stuff done by a reputable shop. And so, they correct all the wrongs and stuff like that, and they get you up and going. And so, their warranty, I think they warranty their work 2 years, right? So, if you ain't got no connections, but you sit over here with a 12-7, that's why I advise people and stuff to go. Like, the only person I seen this year that put an in-frame with that bought a motor, and I say that he did it right, was Brandon. Brandon is Brandon his motor blowed up and stuff, man. He took it to, I forgot what shop, I believe it was in Tennessee, but he knew what he was getting and stuff. He like, man, look, I want this 14.0. I wanted to have this type of horsepower. I wanted to look this way. I wanted to run this way and stuff. And so I think he got like 600. I think he got a 650 horsepower in his and it's a 14.0. And so the price that he paid And so the price that he paid and stuff, man, I said, well, see, yeah, I can understand paying that type of price then and stuff, right? Because, you know, he went in for power. He went in for power. He did his research and stuff like that. And, you know, I can understand it from that perspective. But I'm saying, like, you know, he likes his truck. He's not gonna sell it. You know, he's not gonna sell it and stuff, man. So, you know, that's just him. He wants that particular stuff done in that truck. So, you know, when he did it, he already got the connections to say, well, okay, once I get everything up and running, you know, I'm gonna go back out here and make this money back. And so, you know, Brandon been, you know, he's been doing good for the most part. We ain't been seeing him lately, but you know, he pops up every now and again. But you know, I mean, much respect to him. But you know, as far as like buying a motor off the shelf, right? He's the only one I seen that done it correctly. And so, you know, the whole month on this, in fact, the whole month, you know, cause I believe he went live every day. He went live every day and stuff. I think that was in February or March. But if his videos and stuff are still up, I mean, you know, he told step by step what he was doing. So, you know, so I say shout out to him and stuff. As far as like, again, just taking the old motor out, putting one in and stuff. They say he blew his up, so he ain't had no choice. It wasn't no end frame. It wasn't no end frame for him to put a hole in the block. But you know, again, he bought a 14.0. But these 12 Savage, man, it's just, I mean, you know, you see the price and stuff like that, and it's like, dude, okay, what are you doing? As far as, you know, what kind of research are you doing, man, for this 12.7? Because you're spending way too much money. You're spending way too much money on something, and it's not really, you know, your problem can be fixed. You know, your problem can be fixed and stuff, man. So, yeah, that's who I'm talking about, OTR Rookie. Yeah, that's who I was talking about, OTR Rookie and stuff. I mean, he just, you know, I guess he took it, like I said, you know, he got an end frame done. Another person, it's another guy and stuff. He ain't got a Detroit and stuff. He got a C15. He got a C15 Ace and stuff, but he ran basically into the same issue. He did his own work and stuff. This guy out of Florida, I believe it's FL Transport. FL Transport, he's out of Florida. He got a 379 Peterbilt green. And so last year, he did an end frame on his truck. And so it was him, his father, and his grandfather and stuff. And so, you know, you watch the video, he tore the motor and stuff down. So they had to get somebody from the outside to cut the block, right? To cut the top of the block and stuff. And so he was saying he ran into an issue where his head gasket went out, right? You know, his head gasket went out, so he replaced his head gasket, which should have been the telltale sign right there. Hey, man, look, something's wrong, right? Because head gaskets don't, if you got premature failure, right, then something's wrong, right? So he finally took his motor to some guys down there in Florida. And so if you look at what he had done to that motor this time, that pretty much tells you everything that they do with these used motors and stuff. So they took the motor out the truck. They cleaned it up real good. They measured every part of the motor. And then they did the cut. They did all the cutting stuff necessary. So I believe, the other thing that he did wrong, which he admitted and stuff, is he went stock this time. You know, he went stock and stuff this time. I think his motor was turned up to, when he did the rebuild, it was a 5. I think he took it over like a 5. It was over 5 1/4 and stuff. I know that much. But anything over, when you got a cat, when you turn that horsepower and stuff up, and this is what I tell people. When you buy motors, right, they got a minimum, and they got a maximum. And so anytime you go over the maximum, right, and you want all that power to that truck, you better have you a tuner. You better have you a tuner and stuff, because it's just like racing cars. I mean, you can't turn up all that power. You can't turn up all that power, and then you ain't got no tuner. You got to tune it. That means you got to be taking that truck in there every week or every other week and stuff to make sure that everything is in spec. Because when you turn that ECM up, and you hit that accelerator, whatever you got it set at, it's going to call for that power. And so if those components are not set, you can't run stock stuff past a certain power component. So with the C15, anything over 5 1/4, you got to start. That's when you got to start going in, and you got to change. You got to change everything. You got to get better cams. You got to get better cams, lifters. You got to get better pistons, better. The whole internals and stuff. You got to get it. You got to get all that stuff changed to handle that power, because the ECM is going to call for it, and it's going to demand that engine give you that power, because that's where you got it set. So, just like racing a car, when you sit there and you turn up that power and you send it down, for a test or two, you come back, you got to make sure everything is in spec, and you got to tear the motor and stuff down, and you got to put new parts in it. You got to put new parts in it as demand. So, when you talk about, I'm doing a 600 or a 700, that ECM once the ECM is set, that's what it's going to call for every single time. Every time you hit that accelerator, that's what it's going to call for. So you got to take it to the tuner shop. You got to make sure that everything is in spec. So if you got to turn it to a 600, when they put it up on the dyno, it's got to be doing 600 or better. If it's below 600, then what you're doing is you overworking something in your truck, and that's when everything goes wrong. That's when everything goes wrong. Okay, I'm gonna get it turned up to a 550. I'm gonna get it turned to a 550 or 575, right? And I'm still gonna keep everything in their stock, and you ain't got no tuning. So your truck is calling for power, but you ain't got no way of mapping your truck. You ain't got no way of mapping it and stuff, right? Which shows everything that's going on with your truck. So if you got it set at 550, then once you take it to the tune and they throw it on the dyno, okay, here's where your truck is sitting right here. So we got it set at 550, and it's doing 550. You ain't got no issues and stuff like that, which means ain't nothing being overworked. So if you set it at 525, which is the maximum, for the C15, then you good to go. You can keep the stock stuff in there. Same thing with the Detroit. The 12.7, I think you can go up to a 500. You can go up to a 500, and you ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta go in the motor and stuff and do anything. You got maximum performance. But that ECM, you can set it up however you want to set it up. You can set it up however you want to set it up and stuff, man. But when you get it set up, the ECM is going to call for that power all the time. It's not going to sit there and say, okay, well, just because you go light, just because you're going light on it, you keeping the truck at a certain mile per hour and stuff, it's still going to call for that power every single time you hit the accelerator. So if everything is not set up in that motor like it's supposed to be and stuff, then it's going to wear out. You got to, if you're going to turn your truck up and stuff like that, you got to have a tuner. You got to have somebody and stuff that can monitor your truck constantly. You can hook it up, you can get your information, they can pull your information up, or you either got to learn the mapping system and stuff, That means you got to have the laptop, you got to have the equipment and stuff there, you got to boot it up, and understand where your truck is sitting. Just understand where your truck and stuff is sitting. I mean, if you ain't doing that, then you don't know what your truck is doing. And then when things wear out, you think, oh man, the dude did me wrong. I put the end frame and stuff in it and got the power and stuff turned up, but then, the truck just messed up and stuff. And the truck messed up because you ain't keeping a constant monitoring stuff on the power, on the health of the truck. If it's you gotta set at 5.25, and with your driving and stuff like that, saying, well, your truck doing 500, something wrong. Something is wrong and stuff. So something's being overworked, or when they call for that power, it's not giving it, it's not giving you that power. So with the guy down there and stuff with the Pete, that's what happened to him. So he got his stuff rebuilt. He went back stock. But he wanted to say that the guy that that shaved his head was, he didn't do it right and stuff. But you can't call for power. You can't call for power in a truck and you ain't got no way of monitoring. You went and I believe that he was doing like a 600. He was doing a 600 in his truck and stuff, and his, his head gasket, he blew a head gasket and stuff, right? Which means it messed up some more stuff. And so when they tore it down, I think he was getting a lot of blow by and stuff from the number 4 and the number 6. And that's because he wasn't doing any monitoring and stuff when he got that power stuff turned up. Now, if he had a tuner and he was going to the tuner every week, or if he had the laptop hooked up and he could read the mapping himself, then there it is. You can see, okay, yeah, I got a problem. Let me go ahead and fix it. Instead, I'm going to keep on running on it because I think everything and stuff is fine. You can't do that. You can't do that and stuff. That's why you can't, guys talking about like daily in a race car and stuff. That's why you can't daily a race car, guys. It's a lot of work that's involved in it. So it's the same thing with a truck, The same thing with a truck. Anything that you turn horsepower and stuff up, if there's not a constant eye on it, if it's not a constant eye on the power output of your equipment, then whatever's going to go wrong is going to go wrong, and then you're going to think, well, okay, the guy that built the truck, that did the end frame and stuff, he did it wrong. So with the 12.7, with the 12.7 and stuff, man, it's just, people are they're calling the wrong folks and letting folks just feed them the wrong information, and then you're just going over here and you're buying it, and you're not doing your due diligence. You're not doing your due diligence and stuff, man. What I'm saying is that, all right, if you in, if, your truck paid off, if your truck paid off and stuff, or like I said, if you're going the cash route, then you got to do things based upon fair market value. You can't be sitting there buying overpriced stuff and then think, okay, because I put more money into it, that it's going to somehow guarantee that my stuff is running correctly. Because, hey, going to the dealership and stuff, and paying those prices and stuff there, that's not guaranteeing anything. Case in point, if it was, then they would have fixed the cancer that was in this truck here. If the dealership is to say all and be all, and they can fix all the problems and saying, well, you get what you pay for, okay, well, I paid for service, and yet they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So, I had to go find another doctor, and the doctor removed the cancer. So, the dealership and this is what folks got to get in their minds when you talk about the dealership. The only time you go to the dealership and stuff is if you got a brand new truck. if you got a brand new truck, then you go to the dealership. Cause see, then they're gonna make you priority. They're gonna make you a priority and stuff because you're under warranty, you're under manufacturer warranty. And the thing is, they don't want that reputation of saying that they're unreliable. Man, look, I'll never buy me another Freightliner again because of the service that they provide. You know, they got to get you in, get you out. So whatever lights and stuff you got going on, but usually around that third year, they want you upgrading and stuff. You know, that same truck come back in there 3 years later, then, you know, no, you go and sit in the back and stuff, man. We'll get to you when we get to you because they know the warranty and stuff is done. So, you know, that's what the dealership is there for. To make sure that everybody that got one of those new trucks is satisfied with them. You know, you go in there, they got to get you in and get you out. But, you know, just because it's a manufacturer doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. Because if you go in there, you know, you go to the dealership now, you got a Freightliner Central class and stuff. I mean, if it's not something that could be done simply, and stuff, you know, then get ready for the long haul. You know, like, well, they just gonna keep messing you around, stuff like that. They may even, or they just quote you something that's so astronomically high that you know, like, well, no, it's not in my best interest to bring my truck in here. Let me find someone else that could do it. You know, that could do it better. I ain't gonna say better, that could do it, you know, at a better price. And so, you know, those deviations and stuff there, they don't want you going to the dealership to do oil changes and stuff. That's why they charge, you know, $800-900 for oil change. Like, look, take that to the speed code, take it to the speed code, the TA where it belongs. So, these 12.7s, man, you know, the only advantage that the 12.7 gives you is that you're ELD exempt. You know, that's the only advantage it gives you and stuff. I mean, you know, yeah, you could turn the horsepower up and stuff and keep it on par, but again, if you're not one of those guys that got a tuner and stuff, right, or understanding the mapping system, it's not going to do anything for you. Just spending a bunch of money into something that's going to create some trouble for you down the road. So, you know, you got to be prepared for these things. You want that power, you got to have the people that stand behind you. You know, even Pittsburgh Power. You know, even Pittsburgh Power and stuff, they tell you that, look, once we put this motor stuff in, you know, you got to come and see us on the regular. You know, you got to come see us on the regular and stuff, man. You know, they'll guarantee it. I mean, they'll warranty and stuff, man, but, you know, you got to go in there and get all the stuff done there, you know, or at one of their approved authorization type places or whatever. But, you know, it's simply to monitor that motor car. They're giving you, you know, they're selling you a cat motor, and it's probably at 6 1/4, or probably 7, you know, I mean, I've seen them now doing 800. But, you know, when you got that type of horsepower and stuff, and this person, they say, look, hey, the agreement is that you got to come in here, you know, we got to keep it monitored and make sure that everything is on par. So, you know, you do your PMs and stuff, but you got to schedule your truck to come in here at least once a month. Otherwise, that we ain't gonna honor the warranty. But yeah, you know, those are the things and stuff that people don't really tell you about, you know, as far as like turning the power up and stuff. I mean, kind of honestly, ain't nobody really turning the power up like they say they are. You know, they ain't turning up the power like they say they are and stuff, because what's the, you know, especially in this time here and stuff, what's the point of calling for the power? You know, what's the point of calling for the power and stuff unless, you know, you over there running Mount Eagle and Fancy Gap and stuff. If you running that on the regular and stuff, then, you know, yeah, that's about the only two places I can think of on the East Coast where you probably want to call for that power and stuff to go up their hill. But other than that, I mean, you know, shoot, hey, it's gonna bog down and stuff for the next 6 or 7 miles and stuff. You got to head up that hill, and you're just gonna be going up slow. But you know, you got 40,000 pounds in the wagon. or whatever. I mean, hey, it's just gonna be a slow ride up that hill. But the only advantage you got is, okay, I only had to break down one gear and that's it. You going down the highway and stuff, and you going down the highway and stuff at 70, 75 miles an hour. I mean, what advantage is it giving you in your appointment? Your appointment ain't till the day after tomorrow. So this power, this whole thing with this power stuff, it really died. It really died in the early 2000s, like in the 90s. It was okay and stuff when diesel fuel and stuff was 89 cents a gallon. But you sit up here, almost paying $6-7, and you talking about, oh, I need this thing turned up to a 700. What's the point of calling for all this power? And then this guy over here with a 435 is he's still toting the note. Y'all going to the same place, and even if you get there before him and stuff, they still gonna unload him before they get you there. Before they take care of you. So the power thing and stuff, I got out of that and stuff, man, in my early years of trucking. But people, they start talking about it, I'm like, again, if you ain't got no tuner, and you ain't got somebody that's watching that truck and stuff on regular, you just wasting your time, wasting your money. All you got is you just got a ticking time bomb. So you got guys that can do your stuff. Just if you need an end frame, get the end frame. Don't turn up the power any more than what the maximum specification calls for and stuff. And I'm saying even then, I wouldn't even do that and stuff. Like whatever it's set at, that's where I would keep it. Wherever it's set at, that's where I would keep it and stuff. So, if you got a C15 and it's set at 475, then yeah, just keep it at 475. I mean, and just go on down the highway. Go on down the highway, make your money. Cause you keep it stocked, you ain't got to worry about going to the tuners and none of that stuff there. Everything's gonna run within spec. Everything's gonna run within spec. But if you want that power, then you can't be going. You can't just call for the power and stuff, and then that's it. And I ain't going to see nobody to monitor and make sure that everything is within spec. If something go wrong, you got to fix it right then. Cause it's calling for this power and it's not giving it, which means that all the other stuff is going to have to everything else is going to be overworked. You got 600 horsepower. And one of your injectors and stuff, it's still gonna call for that 600. So that means now it's sending more supply to the injectors that are working to make up for the one that's not. So you're overworking everything, and then you're constantly doing it. You're not monitoring. So if you want the 12.7, just get the 12.7. Get the end frame in it. Keep your oil changes how they supposed to and stuff, and the engine will go the distance. Get all that power. I can turn this thing up now. Whatever it's set at, just keep it right there. The other thing about the 12.7, if you are really, truly in love with that truck, I'm like, man, look, I'm not going to sell this truck. This is my favorite truck right here. I'm not going to do anything with it. Yeah, I can see you stepping out, right? If you absolutely in love with that truck and you're not going to drive any other truck, and this is going to be my truck right here, and I'm not thinking about selling it or none of this stuff, then yeah, then I can see going all out. But other than that, if it's just going to be a tool for you to get out here and work and make money, then it's no need of putting all that money in. It's no need of putting astronomical amounts of money into something with just the basic package of work. You're just gonna go, you're gonna work the truck, you're gonna make the money, and then if an issue come along and stuff, I'll take it to the shop and fix it as it goes like that. But I'm not doing anything special with it. I'm not taking to no truck shows or none of that stuff there. I'm not in any kind of competition. It's a tool used for me to go out here and make money. And then just put the basic package in. You don't have to go, you don't have to go big turbos and, you don't have to go big turbos and, large, better intake manifolds and stuff like that. I mean, unless you're calling for the truck to have more power and, you got a tuner, then that's okay. Then, but other than that, if it's just going to be a tool for business, then, just go with the basic thing. Just go with the basic package and stuff, man. You'll be fine. You know, get you a 12/7 and keep the motor in the way it's supposed to be and stuff. I mean, look, I'm not calling for anything fancy or whatever. Look, the stop block, okay, stop block. Take it in here, keep it stopped, go out there and make your money. But turning up this horsepower and stuff like that, okay, I got this 12/7. I got this 12/7 turned up to a 550. All right. Where's your tuner? Where's your tuner and stuff? I ain't got one of those. But then just leave it alone. Just leave it stop. Just leave it stop and stuff. All they're doing is just saying, okay, well, they find a 12/7 in some junkyard or something like that. They're taking it out. They're going to inspect it. They're going to make sure there ain't no hole and stuff in the block. They're going to measure it and make sure. They're going to measure it and make sure stuff that it's with the inspect. It's not warped or nothing. If it ain't warped, if the block is not warped, then they're going to go and they're going to clean it up. They're going to clean it up and stuff. They're going to shave it. They're going to shave it down just a little bit, just a micrometer. And then they're going to go and put an in-frame kit in it. They're going to put an in-frame kit in it, paint it, and set it on the shelf and say, okay, well, if somebody calls for it and stuff, then this is what the price is going to be. So then they throw this astronomical price. Well, hey, with our motor, we did this to it, and we did that to it, and they ain't did nothing. But just like I said, they found a 12/7, they cleaned it up. They cleaned it up and stuff. They put a basic in-frame kit in it, and they set it on the shelf. And you take pictures of it and stuff. Of course, it look good. Anything look good when it's painted. But all this other stuff, man. I mean, you don't know what's going on with it unless you take it to a tuner. If you take it to the tuner, he'll let you know. Okay, man. He told me this thing was they got it turned up to a 600. This is a 5. He's saying it's a 550. You take it to the tuner, he'll know right then. Like, oh man, I don't know what the heck he was telling you. Well, they crack. They may have to crack it open. They crack it open. Like, man, shoot, nah, dude, this thing, it run fast and stuff. But that's just inside your mind. But this is what your truck is actually doing and stuff. Once they get the print out, and then okay, all right. You can make improvements here and stuff, but this what it's going to require, or if you really want that power, then we're going to have to go in there. We got to change some things up. We may have to bore the block out, depending on how much power and stuff you're calling for. To make sure that everything is within spec. We got to take everything out. Put stronger stuff in there. Your regular crank is not going to, handle it. Call for that power and stuff like that, and this thing is just it's turning a little bit faster than what it's supposed to. It's going beyond its specifications, and it's not built for that. Some of the stuff in there is not reinforced, but that's what you're paying for and stuff. But they make you believe that that's what you're paying for and stuff. But then like I said, you take it to any tuner and stuff, and you'll tell you, man, no, dude, you just put it. It's a regular stop block with a basic in-frame kit in it. That's all you got. The rest of the stuff is in your mind. So, yeah, man, I mean, for you guys that's talking about getting these 12/7s, man, look, just, I say 12/7, anything over $20,000, you're paying too much money. Like I said before, You get a 12.7. Anything past $20,000, you paying way too much money. You know, unless they talk about, man, this thing is a 600 or a 700, and they can show you with the parts and stuff. You know, yeah, if it's a 600 or 700, then yeah, I can see paying over 20,000. But you know, you talking about just regular. It's just a regular stock block that somebody went in and changed and put new parts, changed the old parts, put new parts in and stuff, man, $20,000. That's the most. And so, other than that, you find a truck, and stuff like, you find you a cash truck at a good price. The motor and stuff, you say, well, it might need some work and stuff like that. You talking about, okay, I'll put an in-frame in. Anything past, you get an in-frame in and stuff, man, anything over 16,000, you're paying too much money. Anything over 16 grand, you're paying too much money. So that, that's if you go to in-frame, 16,000. Anything past that on the 12.7 stuff, you're paying way too much. They just ripping you off. You might as well let me find somebody else. Other than that, I mean, that's it. Other than that, that's it and stuff, man. These 12.7s, like, look, I done showed the video, I done showed on Google and stuff, man, where they selling these 12.7s, and, none of them and stuff, man, see, maybe it's a few of them over $20,000, but I mean, some of the people that folk are going to, like, yeah, well, I spent $36,000. What the heck for? Spent $36,000 and they only giving you a year warranty. They're giving you only a year warranty and stuff, but then, the warranty has to be based upon their authorized dealer. You can't just take it to anybody and stuff, but then they're gonna say, oh well, the mechanic put it in wrong. So, you put it in wrong and stuff, and so now you got some more issues you got to deal with. So, yes, I mean, the OTR rookie, the only thing I say he kind of did right is the guy he took it to put the motor and stuff in, he said he charged him $4,500, right? So, yeah, $4,500 seems fair, but I'm saying he should have took it to that same dude. If they were charging $4,500 just to swap the block and stuff, R&R, he should have took it there and got his in-frame done right there, They sit there and he trade his block in and stuff, just to get this one, And that's crazy, man. I mean, see, you put a new turbo on that thing. I don't even think it's a year old. Maybe it is, but he admitted that he didn't do his due diligence and stuff. But still, still with that amount of time and stuff in the game, man. I mean, you still went through with it. That was not. It's not smart. But, it's in the truck now and stuff. It is what it is and stuff. I hope that what he does is, since you're buying this overpriced stuff, right? Since you buy the overpriced stuff, the other thing you got to watch is if you spent $50,000, right, to get everything done, and now you're trying to make your money back, you need to go to your insurance company and you need to make sure that you're covering your truck for everything. That's one of the great things about trucking is that, you can go to your insurance company and you say, whatever kind of, if you tell them, hey, look, I want this type of coverage on my truck, then, hey, they're going to put their coverage up there and stuff, and you just got to pay that premium. So, that in-frame is definitely something that you need to add in there, especially if you know that your money is not going to be returned as fast as you spent. Because, we often think, well, I'm not gonna go out here and do anything bad, but a lot of times it's not you. Sometimes it's somebody else. Sometimes it's somebody else. So you spent 40,000, you spent 40,000, $50,000 on the end frame, and this crate motor stuff, and then somebody come and hit your truck, and then it's total loss, and they only cut you a check for the cash truck price. Well, I bought the truck for 12, 13,000, so they cut you a check for 12, 13. And the rest of the stuff, that's just something that now you got to eat with no return. So, just add that in there until you make the money back. Once you make the money back, then you can just cut down your coverage. Okay, yeah, I'll go back to the 12,000 coverage. But, cover your stuff. Make sure, cover your stuff, man, because again, a lot of times it's not you. A lot of times it's not you and stuff, it could be other people. Look at Mike Peppers. Mike Peppers and stuff, man. I mean, he told off truck and trailer. I believe he said a car jumped the lane and stuff and was coming head for him. So he said he either hit the car, hit the ditch. So he hit the ditch. He survived, man. I mean, that, truck and trailer, total loss. But they covered for the truck and the trailer and stuff like that. They seen his total, so they're gonna go and cut a check and stuff, and I guess give them another W-9 or a Peterbilt or whichever round of stuff they want to go. But he's covered for the full amount. Damn, that was a real bad accident, by the way. I mean, I don't even know how they. I mean, God was definitely on his side, man. Now, that was a real bad accident. But anyway, I hope that answered the question stuff about the 12 Saturday. Quit spending a bunch of money in something that you don't need to be spending money on. If you want that horsepower, if you want to go beyond the mysterious beyond, just make sure you got a team behind it, and see them on the regular to make sure that your truck is doing what it's supposed to do. Because everything may feel fine, but it ain't fine, And the only way that you're going to know is if they put it on the, if they put it on the screen, they show you, okay, look, this is your output right here. It's your output right here and stuff. I mean, they call for the power, but again, if it's not mapped correctly, and stuff, then there it is, You call for the power, but and stuff, but it ain't there. Because it wasn't mapped right. You put the right software, to call for the right stuff so you can get maximum efficiency for the output that you set your truck in. But you gotta have a team. You can't just sit there, turn it up, and then just be done with it. You gotta go to people and stuff again that monitor that type of stuff. Dealerships don't do it. They say they do, but they ain't doing it. They ain't standing behind that stuff because they don't want to be responsible. Because they know, like, hey, look, you ain't gonna come back unless you're gonna come back in here and see us every week and stuff, man. And we really ain't got time for that type of stuff anyway. So, my advice: don't do it. Just keep the truck, whatever specification it is, and stuff, man. Just keep it right there. You don't need anything extra. You don't need anything extra unless you're talking about hit those heels and stuff like that. And okay. You ain't hitting it on the regular. You just running down the road and stuff on the regular. You ain't got no tuner. Keep it stopped. But y'all guys got any questions and stuff? I mean, you gonna put it on out there. Otherwise, that go ahead and wrap things on up. Another slow week. Things are getting cold and stuff, so I hope you guys and stuff got your truck set up for the winter and everything. You know, your batteries, if your batteries kind of janky, it's time to go and change them now. You know, while it ain't all that cold and stuff, cause you don't want to get out there and make the mistake and stuff, man. Go inside the truck stop. You know, you shut the truck off for a few minutes, and now the truck ain't cranking. Cause the battery, you know, like daggone, everything is working fine, but you know, the cold cranking amps, they just decide to give up the ghost. You know, make sure you cool, you know, your coolant levels and stuff are what they supposed to be. You know, don't have no kind of coolant leak and stuff that comes to your air. Drain your tanks. Drain your tanks and stuff, man. Get that moisture and stuff up out of there, cause you know, when that cold snap hit, you got any moisture in it and stuff, man, that stuff freezes up. And once it freezes up, you know, ain't no air going nowhere and stuff, and now you're stuck until the sun come up, or at least some heat get back there and melt that ice. So, you know, get you some air brake antifreeze. Get you some air brake antifreeze and stuff, kind of stock up on that while the prices and stuff are low, cause usually around December they go ahead and jack the price on up. Let's get ready for the winter and stuff, man. I don't know if it's going to be a good one or a bad one, but I don't want to be stuck, what I'm saying. So, with that, go ahead and end there and stuff. Y'all guys take it easy. This man right here, one and only, that's beautiful. Hold down a red rooster. Telling you as always, continue to do your own research, fact find, and study. Also your skills every day. Until next time we talk, next time we meet. Safe, easy, peace out. I'm gonna leave y'all with another outro. Hold up, what you got? Rooster, I saw a 2008 utility reefer trailer for 20,000 hours on the reefer unit for 12,000. What's your thoughts? 2008. 2008. Hold on. 2008. Is it a? Is it Thermal King or is it you? Is it Thermal? Oh God. Is it a Thermal King or is it a what's it called? Is it Thermal King or is it a Carrier? It says 2008. It says Carrier. Okay, all right. It's Carrier. 20,000 hours. Hold on, let's do some math right quick. Let's see. It's 100. Let's see, 24 hours. One second. Let's see. 52. Okay. $24. 20,000. Was going to see it, talk to him, talking down and stuff. Yeah. All right. I mean, where can I find? Okay, let's see. All right. First thing first. Your trailer, 20,000 hours on this stuff. Yeah. Go take a look at it. Make sure that it's cooling down and stuff like it's supposed to, cause the hours don't really, you know, if it's a 2008, if it's a 2008, let's see, hold on, I'm trying to do some math right quick. 52, so let's see, 8, 15, 10, 12. All right, so trailer 14 years old. All right, the trailer 14 years old. Check the box, make sure that the box, check the box, make sure that the box and stuff is make sure it's sealed up for the most part. The engine hours and stuff, I mean, it's where it's supposed to be and stuff like that. See if he did any kind of work to it, like any kind of compressor work. That's going to be your biggest issue and stuff there. But yeah, definitely check out that box. Make sure that that box and stuff is okay. Check the cross members. Make sure that the cross members are all right. And if he got any kind of work and stuff like that, if he got any kind of verifiable work and stuff, just ask him what he did to it. Listen to it run, make sure that it cools down and stuff like it's supposed to within, it's not going to do it fast, right? But if it do it within a reasonable amount of time, it's going to be kind of tough because, with the winter and stuff coming in, the reefer is going to cool down very quickly. So, like I said, just make sure that the box and stuff is intact. But other than that and stuff, I mean, if he's asking 12.5, right? I would do, let's see, 12. If he's asking 12.5, if you can get him down to 10, yeah, I gon' get that. I gon' get that and stuff. Let's see, live now, be free. Where can I find a good accountant for my taxes? Well, a good CPAs are everywhere. What I suggest, find you a CPA that's local. Find you a local CPA. Okay, don't go to like ATVS and nothing like that. There's a CPA. Make sure that you get one where you live. Make sure you get one where you live. Cause having a good accountant and stuff, man, is very important. Having a good CPA and stuff is very important and stuff, man. But I always advise, if you get a CPA, make sure that the CPA is local. Make sure that CPA and stuff is local and stuff, man. Do your homework. Like their CPAs and stuff that's right there in your town or in your city and stuff where you live. Find one and see if they're always gonna be familiar with the tax codes and stuff. My suggestion is find one that got a small office. A CPA with a smaller office and stuff, and the person that owns the facility and stuff, make sure that they work there. But definitely find someone local. That's the first thing. That's the most important thing, because when you need to talk to your CPA and stuff, it's something that you need to go to them, sit down, explain what your situation is, and they'll let you know. Somebody that you got access to 24/7. Somebody you got access to 24/7 and stuff, man. I mean, a good CPA and stuff, man. Like I said, they're not going to steer you wrong, but my suggestion is make sure that you find someone local. Make sure you find someone local and stuff, man. Somebody, and if they've been in the business for, a minute, like really, I'll look at somebody, about 10 years. About 10 years at least. Let's see, Chris, what you got? Do people rebuild reefer units, or do they just replace them? They normally replace them. They normally replace them and stuff. I mean, every now and again and stuff. I mean, cause it's a small motor, right? I mean, it's a small motor and stuff. And so, I mean, the motor's not going to be the issue. The reefer unit stuff, the motor's not going to be the issue and stuff. It's the compressor. The Your compressor is going to be the main issue and stuff, man. But as long as that compressor is good, and stuff, man, your motor, you know, because the motor just runs at certain speeds and stuff. It's not at a veritable speed. It's not, it's not like accelerator or something like that. Like it's running 35 miles, 35 miles an hour, like your motor in your car, your truck, you know. So the motor is not going to be the issue and stuff, man, with the refueling. It's going to be the compressor and it's going to be the box. But usually those things are bad. They just go ahead and they switch they'll switch the refueling out and they'll get something better. Like, if you got an SB, with the Thermo King, you got an SB 210 and stuff. You might find an SB. You might find an SB. I think the 400s now. I think they're the 400 and stuff. So you might find an SB 400 and stuff, and it's at a good price. And so you just take the old one off and put the new one on. If you can find one at a good price. But that's what folks usually do with the refueling cars. They pretty. It's pretty simple and stuff. It's pretty simple to exchange. It looks sophisticated, but it's not. But the compressor is going to be the biggest issue. If you got a good compressor, then you got a good refueling. If you got a good box, you got a good refueling. Those two things there and stuff. Let's see. Team Flute, you say you in Jacksonville, Florida. You in Jacksonville, Florida, man. Good grace, I don't even know why the heck you down there with these rates, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, but good gracious, man. I say I'm done with the South, man. I went down to Atlanta. I said, man, that's it. I'm done. I'm not coming down here no more. That's it. I'm telling you, boy, that city know that it angered me, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do live in Jacksonville. That's right. You do live in Jacksonville. Okay, that's different then. That's different. That's different stuff, man. Let's see. In fact, I gotta get ready. I gotta get this documentary and stuff together, and I'll be going through Jacksonville. So, and stuff, man. Oh, I found out how to set my stuff up. Somebody finally walked through, gave me a walkthrough and stuff on how to set this lab and stuff up. So, I know everything to get now. I'm telling you, this thing, man, it's been aggravating. I didn't know what equipment and stuff to get, but somebody messed around and told me what stuff to get and gave me the 101s. I'm like, man, yeah, I'm about to step it up. Man. I'm glad they showed me exactly what stuff to get. You get this, get that. I'm like, cool. So, got that situated there and stuff. Y'all got any more questions? Don't throw it at me. Man, it took me long. God, bro. I'm like, people when they, I'm telling you, man, research and stuff, man. Research is real hard, man. I'm not saying this to discourage people not to do it. It's just, man, doing research on stuff is, I'm telling you, it can really take its toll and stuff, man. I mean, the questions and stuff that's out there, you put it out there in hopes that you find the right question, and then, okay, all right, just give me the step by step and the right tools, and then, this guy happened to help me out and stuff, and so I'm like, all right, cool. So I can set it up this way, like, I tell you what, he gave me a few connections to some people that he knows, so, only thing I do is just get the equipment, make a phone call to his people, they're gonna go and set it on up. Said it shouldn't take but about an hour and stuff, man, to get me familiarized with all you know, with everything I need to do. So it's just, I can't wait. What are my thoughts on the freight market? What is, the freight market? It is what it is. You know, if you running off the spot market, then it's definitely not a good place and stuff to be in. You know, spot market is just for some. You know, if you're trying to get you a backhaul, but if you're trying to make a living off that spot market and stuff, then all you doing is TQLing and Coyote and JB Hunt 360 and CH Robinson. Them the four that you hauling for and stuff, right? So, you can spend the money on the DAT board. That's why ain't nobody advertising the DAT board right now. Because the DAT board, you ain't winning on the DAT board. You ain't winning on the DAT board and stuff. I want to call right now, to make a long story short, we in the year of Jubilee. And stuff, man, for the freight, as far as the freight market and stuff, we in the year of Jubilee right now. So, now we got a diesel fuel shortage and stuff, and they saying the only way that the diesel fuel shortage is going to get good if we slow the economy down. So, here we go with this message. We get out of one fix and stuff, and now we in another fix. So it's like, well, nobody wants to start a recession, but then here it is. Okay, they trying to jump start and stuff by any means and stuff. That's so for those of y'all that don't know why the diesel done shot back up and stuff, there's why. The supply was short. But again, these are things that people know. You can't just be at the wheel and stuff and then say, oh wow, we just got 25, all we got is a 25-day supply, and then that's it. Come on, man. Here it is. You had it, in the first part when they started the war with the Ukraine and stuff. Oh man, it's the Ukraine. That's why the gas and the diesel is so high. So everybody had to see, okay, where are our supplies and stuff? Where do we stand? Where do we get our stuff from? And now all of a sudden, now they just say, man, it's only a 25-day supply, and then we're gonna be completely out of diesel. How do you not know that? Unless it's something that's just always supposed to be kickstarted. Everybody kept talking about it's going to be a recession. Well, here it is, But, you can't be at the wheel and stuff, watching this stuff every day and talking about, oh, well, I didn't see that coming. Stuff, of course they did. So, the freight market right now, if you're running off the spot market, this is the year of Jubilee right now. This is the year of Jubilee and stuff, man. So, if you got, the contract, your contracts and stuff are winning. So, if you ain't got no contract, and you got your own authority, then, you might want to find one of these dispatcher services. Get with a dispatcher service. I seen somebody post up a video. They're saying they called 177 warehouses that couldn't get a contract. Which is the next video and stuff. I'm gonna do a video and stuff on that. She called 177 warehouses and stuff. And so, the next one is gonna be entitled "Don't Waste Your Time Talking to the Help." Don't waste your time talking to the help, because I guarantee you, when she talked to all them 177 warehouses, she talked to the help. Don't ever, when you a business person, don't ever talk to the help to try to get information. If you're a business person, you need to speak with business people. Don't talk to the help. The help is just there to make, whatever their job function and stuff is, that's what it is. You're never going to get anything straight up, because you start talking to them, you're talking to them over about something that they don't understand. And what people do a lot of times to make themselves look important is that they make themselves to be, I'm the point of, I'm the POC. I'm the point of contact and stuff. I know what you're talking about. And then they start spewing all this stuff, and all they is just an employee. They the help. Don't talk to the help. Don't talk to the help. If you need any information and stuff, man, you go to the source. But that's why they couldn't get any contracts. You know, God, you're too busy talking to the help. So, yeah, that's what my next video and stuff is gonna be focused on. But yeah, freight market. You run off that spot market right now and stuff, man, it's gonna be real tough for you. Find the dispatch, the dispatch services. They got all the contract freight wrapped. They got all the contract freight wrapped up right now and stuff. So what you do is you go to the dispatch service, find out who they servicing and stuff like that, and then you make your next move, right? You find out who it is you can talk to and stuff, and you sit down with them, and then you pitch your ideas. I ain't gonna say you pitch your business. You pitch your business itinerary to them, because the dispatch service, that's all they are. They're just a dispatch service. They can find trucks, but they don't have any trucks. You can be your own dispatch service. The only thing that the dispatch service did, they just made things easier for you to find out who they got contracts and stuff with. So go over there, you're gonna have to work with them and stuff for a little while. You gotta work with them for a little while and stuff, but you're just trying to gather information up and stuff to see, okay, just how locked in are they with this contract right here and stuff, and then you go in and you make your move. You go in and you make your move and stuff, but as far as like trying to call people and search for people and stuff, I mean, you can do it, but you just get hemmed up with the help. You're talking with the help too much. So dispatch service, they know what source of stuff to go to. So, while you going in there, you going in there, you talking and stuff like that. I mean, hey, get some information out of them. Don't go in there tap dancing and stuff like that, skinning and grinning and bringing them cookies and pies and all that stuff there, talking all that Uncle Raymond's nonsense, Go in there with a business perspective and stuff like that, but get curious, ask questions, look around, look at those load tenders. Look at those load tenders and stuff. I mean, again, if you use the dispatch service, the thing is, they in there, but the advantage that you got over them is that, you can be your own dispatch man. You got the truck and stuff, so you can be the service provider and stuff. Them, the only thing they doing is just getting the contracts and stuff and saying, hey man, listen, don't worry about finding equipment, we'll find it. And so, hey, come on over here and stuff, and we got it set up to where, you can do power only and stuff like that, and haul directly for the customer. They got trailers, they just need trucks, but, we the ones that book the loads and stuff like that, and once everything is said and done, you factor it through us and we'll cut the check and all this stuff there, but you got a middleman, you got a middleman and stuff, and you're just trying to eliminate them right now. But the reason why you can't eliminate them is because they know who to talk to and you don't. So you want to get that information and stuff up out of them. That's if you got your own authority. You got your own authority and stuff, man. You just need to land, you got to land your contract if you're going to stay in it. If you're serious about staying in it, because otherwise that load board and stuff, man, it's not cracking. It's not cracking and stuff, man. You see a lot of people up there complaining and stuff, man, but the people that's surviving and stuff off that spot market, I just, without putting too much information, you should already know how they survive. You should already know how they survive and stuff, right? But I'm just saying, without me putting too much information out there, you over here, you in this business and stuff, and then you saying, well, hey, I'm feeling it and they ain't feeling it, but they doing the same thing. They just pull off the same spot market I'm pulling off of, the same DAT board I'm pulling off of, but I'm feeling it, they ain't feeling it. You should already know something. You should already know something right there. So don't insult your own intelligence. What you thinking is exactly correct. All right, so I'm gonna get on off here and stuff. So let's go on here with my outro music. With me, you'll see why I am the greatest pimp up in the nation. No mistake that I am the greatest pimp of your imagination. Let me stop playing. Hey, listen, y'all. I'm gonna go and jump on off here and stuff. This your man here, Rhode Island Red Rooster, telling you as always. Continue your own research, fact finding studies. It's on your skills every day. So next time we talk, next time we meet, say, easy.